Hi everyone, my name is Astrid. I go to Columbia University and I'm studying political science and Middle Eastern studies. And I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts of the college application process. So, first of all, my general advice would be to have multiple options for your recommendation letters. So, even though you think you might only need like three or four, just make sure that you can ask other people as a backup because sometimes schools will ask for like a STEM teacher or an English teacher specifically, and you just haven't like read those requirements yet. So make sure you're nice to all your teachers, you stay engaged, and expect that you'll need recommendations from basically all of them. It's always helpful to have like a backup plan. This is also true for outside of school as well. Like maybe you have an internship or a job, you want to make sure that you're on good terms with your employer because you never know if you're going to need a recommendation letter from them. Even if it's not for college, it might be for later. Like, for example, I did a summer program where I was taking classes, and I actually asked my instructor for a recommendation letter for school months after I had finished the program. I didn't think that I would need one, but it actually really helped my application. So I'm glad that I was on good terms with him, and that I spoke like that he actually had something to say about me in his recommendation letter. And then for the don'ts, this might be a little bit more personal, but for me, it was not a good idea to have too many schools on my list. Like, don't have 35 schools that you want to apply to. It's better sometimes to stick to a smaller list of schools that you know you match and you know you want to get into. That way you can really spend more time on those applications and you just have a better chance of getting in. Like for me, I'm not into STEM at all. Like I hate science and math, and I still applied to Georgia Tech, which is only like a STEM school. So this was kind of a waste of time. It shouldn't have been on my list. So make sure that the schools that are on your list are all like schools that you would actually do really well in. Because if not, they're either not going to accept you, and if they still do, you're just not going to do well there. It's not going to be a good experience. And then the last thing I would say, even though it sounds counterintuitive or a little bit ironic, is don't stress too much about this process. I know if you're applying to like a top school, it's inherently stressful. The process has to be stressful, but it's important to like remember that it's like the school that you go to doesn't really matter that much. It's really like how well you do there that matters. And also make sure that you remember that the ranking of the school really doesn't define how well you're going to do in life, because you could go to like a top school and just not do great there, like not have many connections after, not be able to network well just because you don't like the culture, you don't like the people there. So make sure that you don't stress too much and you don't think too much about the ranking of the school.